Breaking headlines: President Donald Trump steps back into the world stage with a bold new peace plan for Israel and Hamas. Could this be the historic deal that ends decades of bloodshed, or just another chapter of false hope and political games? Stay tuned, because what's unfolding right now could reshape the future of the Middle East forever. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're covering a story that has once again set the entire world abuzz. Former U.S. President Donald Trump, known for his unconventional diplomacy, has stepped forward with a bold new peace initiative aimed at resolving one of the world's most enduring conflicts: the decades-long standoff between Israel and Hamas. After months of quiet back-channel communications, the Trump team announced a framework that promises to end hostilities, lift the blockade on Gaza, and pave the way for mutual recognition. Supporters call it a game changer, while critics label it political theater dressed as peace. Trump has described it as a deal built on strength, fairness, and mutual security. But can two sides, divided by decades of war, trust a plan crafted by an American leader known for shaking up international norms? In today's episode, we're going to break down what's inside the plan, how each side is reacting, what role global powers like Egypt and Qatar are playing, and whether this could truly be the moment the Middle East turns the page. Get ready, because this story has everything: power, politics, and the fragile hope of peace. Trump's proposed peace framework is ambitious, detailed, and, as always, controversial. The plan includes a 5-year renewable ceasefire, monitored by an international coalition led by the U.S., Egypt, and the United Nations. It promises billions of dollars in reconstruction aid for Gaza, funded mainly by Gulf states such as Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. The initiative also proposes opening Gaza's borders for limited trade and travel, building new ports and industrial zones, and creating thousands of jobs to reduce poverty and unrest. For Israel, the plan guarantees continued security control along its borders and recognizes its right to self-defense. However, in return, Israel would need to freeze settlement expansion in the West Bank and coordinate economic policies with Palestinian authorities. Hamas, on the other hand, would be required to commit to full disarmament of certain rocket systems and officially recognize Israel's right to exist. Trump has called it the deal that no one else had the courage to attempt. His allies claim it could transform Gaza from a war zone into a hub of trade and innovation. But skeptics question whether either side will actually honor such deep commitments. After all, peace plans are not new. The question is, can Trump's deal succeed where every other one failed? Inside Israel, Trump's announcement has sparked a complex mix of optimism and fear. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu cautiously welcomed the plan, praising Trump's efforts while insisting Israel's security will never be compromised. The Israeli right wing, however, has voiced sharp opposition, fearing the deal might restrict military freedom or weaken their territorial claims. Many Israeli settlers see the halt in expansion as a dangerous concession. Meanwhile, moderates in Israeli society are cautiously hopeful. Some see a real opportunity to end years of costly conflict and international isolation. Israeli media outlets have described the plan as the most serious peace attempt since Oslo, but also warn that Hamas' record of violence makes trust nearly impossible. Military leaders are evaluating whether Hamas can truly be disarmed, and if not, whether a ceasefire can even hold. In Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, citizens express a mixture of fatigue and realism. "We've heard it all before," says one resident. "But if it brings quiet even for a while, maybe it's worth trying." That sentiment captures the Israeli mood: cynical but wary of endless conflict. Netanyahu now faces a delicate balance: accept Trump's plan and risk domestic backlash, or reject it and lose international goodwill. In Gaza, Hamas leadership responded with both anger and calculation. Officially, the group denounced Trump's plan, calling it an attempt to legitimize occupation. Yet behind the fiery rhetoric, sources close to Cairo's negotiation rooms reveal quiet debate within the Hamas political bureau. Some leaders, particularly from the political wing, believe that accepting limited cooperation could bring much-needed relief to Gaza's collapsing economy. Others, especially from the military branch, reject any compromise that involves disarmament or recognition of Israel. Hamas has demanded 3 key conditions before considering the plan: an end to Israel's blockade, the release of hundreds of Palestinian prisoners, and guaranteed international oversight to prevent Israeli interference in Gaza's governance. For the 2 million civilians trapped in Gaza's overcrowded, impoverished streets, hope and skepticism run side by side. Decades of conflict have turned every ceasefire into a countdown toward the next airstrike. "We just want a normal life," a young Gaza resident told reporters. "If Trump can make that happen, then why not? But trust is scarce. Without genuine compromise on both sides, even the best designed peace plan can crumble overnight." At the center of this delicate dance stands Egypt, a nation with deep historical ties to both Israel and the Palestinians. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi's government has become the essential mediator, hosting closed-door meetings in Cairo that bring representatives from Israel, Hamas, and the U.S. to the same table. Egyptian intelligence officials have been crafting a phased framework that begins with humanitarian relief and ends with political normalization. Egypt's primary goal is regional stability. With its own Sinai region facing extremist threats, Cairo wants to prevent any escalation that could spill across its borders. The country has also positioned itself as the Arab world's diplomatic bridge, balancing relations with both Washington and Hamas. Sisi's government is reportedly coordinating with Qatar and Saudi Arabia to ensure economic funding once a deal is finalized. But Egypt's mediating role isn't without risk. Every failed round of talks undermines its credibility, and every rocket or airstrike makes its job harder. Yet despite the challenges, Egyptian officials remain cautiously optimistic. This time, one diplomat said, both sides have more to lose by walking away than by agreeing. Whether that hope translates into action remains to be seen. But without Egypt, no peace plan stands a chance. With an eye on strengthening his legacy and reasserting America's influence abroad, Trump is eager to. Critics argue that Trump's peace push may have as much to do with politics as with principle. Portray himself once again as a master negotiator, the man who could fix what others couldn't. His team insists the initiative is sincere, built on lessons learned from the Abraham Accords, which normalized Israel's relations with several Arab states during his presidency. Yet, skeptics see this as strategic image building. Some diplomats claim Washington is less focused on long-term peace and more on demonstrating leadership against China and Russia's growing influence in the region. Others believe the plan serves to unite U.S. allied Arab states under an American-led order while keeping Iran isolated. Still, supporters point out that regardless of motive, the plan's success could genuinely improve millions of lives. Even if Trump benefits politically, says one analyst, peace is still peace. Whether this initiative is diplomacy or showmanship, its impact will be judged by results, not intentions. For now, the world watches as Trump's bold rhetoric meets the unforgiving test of Middle Eastern reality. Across the globe, Trump's peace proposal has triggered strong and divided reactions. The United Nations welcomed renewed dialogue but warned that lasting peace must respect international law and human rights. European nations, while skeptical, have cautiously praised the plan's focus on economic reconstruction. Meanwhile, Iran and Turkey condemned the move, calling it an American illusion designed to strengthen Israeli dominance. In the Arab world, reactions are mixed. Saudi Arabia and the UAE have expressed guarded optimism, hoping for regional calm and economic stability. Jordan and Lebanon remain wary, fearing the political fallout if Palestinian aspirations are ignored. On social media, Fet Trump peace plan and Fave Gaza deal have trended worldwide, with commentators questioning whether peace brokered by an outsider can ever truly last. Ordinary people on both sides of the conflict express fatigue. In Israel, parents hope their children can grow up without sirens and bomb shelters. In Gaza, families long for a night without drones overhead. The world may debate politics, but for those living in the shadow of war, peace is more than a headline, it's survival. And that's what makes this moment so fragile and so crucial. The stakes could not be higher. If Israel and Hamas agree, the results could be historic. Gaza could finally rebuild, opening its borders to trade, jobs, and international investment. Israel could enjoy unprecedented regional stability and gain diplomatic recognition from nations that have long shunned it. The U.S. could claim a monumental foreign policy victory, reshaping its role in the Middle East. But if the plan fails, the consequences could be catastrophic. Tensions could erupt into another deadly conflict, drawing in Iran, Hezbollah, and other militant groups. The humanitarian crisis in Gaza, already dire, could deepen further. Meanwhile, Israel could face renewed global isolation and domestic unrest. Every failed peace attempt leaves deeper wounds, making future talks even harder. Trump's initiative isn't just another policy. It's a test of whether humanity can rise above vengeance and politics. The world has seen countless treaties signed and broken, promises made and forgotten. This time, both sides must decide, will they let history repeat itself, or will they finally rewrite it? Every moment in Cairo's negotiation rooms could determine not just the fate of two nations, but the destiny of an entire region. Over the coming weeks, Egyptian and American diplomats are expected to finalize a series of confidence-building measures. These include prisoner exchanges, temporary border openings, and coordinated humanitarian efforts. If both sides honor these early steps, a larger peace summit could follow, potentially hosted in Geneva, Dubai, or Washington. Still, optimism is cautious. Each side fears betrayal, and with extremists on both ends ready to sabotage talks, the margin for error is razor-thin. The international community is pushing hard. Qatar has pledged $1 billion in reconstruction aid if the plan succeeds, while the European Union has promised to support new trade infrastructure. For now, the ceasefire remains tense but holding. The people of Gaza wait for proof that words will turn into action. Israelis, too, are watching quietly, wondering if this could finally be the beginning of a calmer era. Trump's team insists that failure is not an option. But in the Middle East, even hope can be dangerous. The next few months will decide whether the dream of peace becomes reality or collapses into dust once again. And so we arrive at the million-dollar question. Will Israel and Hamas actually accept Trump's peace plan? History tells us that peace in the Middle East has always been fragile, fleeting, and painfully expensive. Yet, every era brings new leaders, new priorities, and new opportunities to try again. Trump's proposal, whether driven by genuine vision or political ambition, has reignited the conversation. Both Israel and Hamas stand at a crossroads. One path leads to continued bloodshed and despair. The other offers a chance, however small, for a future built on coexistence. The coming months will test courage, leadership, and the willingness to compromise. Thank you for watching till the end. If you found this deep analysis valuable, please hit that like button. Subscribe to stay informed and comment below. Do you think Trump's plan has a real chance of success, or is it destined to fail like so many before it? Stay tuned for more global updates and political deep dives. Until next time, stay aware, stay curious, and keep watching history unfold.